Shalom, shalom. All right, back out here again. Friday evening. Today's lesson is going to be entitled, Be a Man. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All kinds of different news coming out. Trump being implicated in the Epstein files. We're going to stick to this lesson today. All right. Yep, here we go. All right, so we're going to start this off by saying, Shalom! I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bahakadash. I want to give double honor to my apostles and elders that came before me that brought me into this truth. Yet again, today's title is going to be called, Be a Man, right? And again, brothers out here, week in and week out, to bring out the truth of the Bible, that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who would today be classified as who would be the Israelites according to the Bible, according to history, archaeology, and prophecy, but are now recognized as these respective titles. Again, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? As well as the other Israelites that are scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth, and the Israelites that may be in Babylon the Great that look like the other nations, okay? Nonetheless, let's go to, matter of fact, you want to get the entire thing? Who knows, man? Let me get verse 3. All right. Oh, of course, I just lost it. 34 and 31. Yep, here it is. All right. Okay, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 100 and verse 3. Know ye that Yahweh, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. So, you didn't make yourself, man. All right, you didn't create yourself. The Most High made you, man, by his son Yahweh Shai. Okay, and the rest of the angels. Let's let them go. Again, Psalms 103. Psalms 100, verse 3. Know ye that Yahweh, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. So, who is sheep? That's talking about the children of Israel, right? Now, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, and verse 1. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your God, saith the other one, Yahweh. You see that one? So the flock of the Most High are men, right? Okay? Right? The ones that the Most High has entrusted this truth with are men. The men that have been sent across the world to tell the Israelites across the planet that you are the Israelites. You have to come back to your power or your God. You have to come back to the commandments that your God left for you. 16 and 13. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 16, and verse 13. Here. And pardon me, I have to say fair use. Any music that's being played in the background is not owned by me. Okay? This is for educational purposes only. All right, again, fair use. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 16, and verse 13. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith, quit you like men, be strong. So again, you have a lot of cats out here that are exuding this unmanly behavior, man. This unmanly energy, this soft energy. right? And that's why brothers stay far away from the Bible. Again, why is that? Because the Bible has been fused together with what is known as the Catholic and the so-called Christian church, right? In which people associate the Bible or the word of the Most High with these two institutions that are very infamous, right? They have very horrible reputations. What are their reputations? That the so-called white men gave you this religion. What else are these reputations? That you have old men, you have men in general that are molesting little boys in these churches or these cathedrals, whatever you want to call them. What are the the other pieces of the disgusting reputation of the so-called Christian and the Catholic Church? That only women are there. Why? Because the pastor panders to the women. Why? Because they're the ones that are giving you the money, right? These are the very infamous things that cause people to stray away from the word of the Most High. And the other reasons why people don't associate the scriptures with manliness, right? Because not only do they say that, but they also lie and say that it's it's an unlawful thing to cuss, right? To say a curse word, quote unquote, right? They try to say that a man can't have more than one wife, right? That's completely off, man. That's completely ridiculous. Now, are those the things that men are supposed to be paying the most attention to? Not even close. The thing that you're supposed to be paying the most attention to is being obedient in the commandments of the Heavenly Father, right? That's the thing that you're supposed to be paying the most attention to, and nothing else, right? Nonetheless, obedience and discipline is the most important thing that a man can have. Now, of course, you have to be very specific about what you're being obedient to. We're being obedient to the Most High to the best of our ability, right? But again, whenever you bring in the so-called Christian church and you push women in your congregation to be your pastors and your priests and whatnot, then it turns into a gigantic bowl of garbage, man. Right? A gigantic bowl of confusion, in which you don't know if you're coming and going. You don't know what's going on, man. And there is no discipline there. Not only is there no discipline there, but you also throw away the commandments of the Most High God, man. So you don't only insert your own commandments, but then you throw out a majority of them, right? Right? This is the book of Job, chapter 38 and verse 2. Who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorant words? So again, whenever you start questioning the Most High God, man, that's an unwise thing to do. Right? Now, is it unlawful to ask questions? No, not really. But you have to be prepared for the answers, man. Right? You can't be questioning the Most High and asking, why me? That's a very ignorant thing, right? That's a very ignorant thing. Why? Because, matter of fact, let's get it real quick. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 2. Job, chapter 2. There it is. Okay. Yep, this is the book of Job, chapter 2. But he said unto her, matter of fact, we'll start at verse 9. Then said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. So that's what an ignorant and foolish and vain mind is going to say. They're going to see somebody going through all sorts of travail and say, man, you just need to curse the Most High and just die. Right? You just need to say, forget it and just pass away. That's what an ignorant person would say. That's what his wife said, right? But what did Job say? But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. So again, an ignorant person is going to be having that woe is me spirit, trying to question the Most High and ask, why did this happen to me? Whenever they know for a fact that they've never ever done anything for the Most High God. What they have done though is say, God talked to me and said I should do this. Right? That's what they said. They're talking to the God of their own brain, right? The God of their own heart, and they worship their own heart. Let's go right back real quick. Not right back, pardon me, but we're gonna go to Jeremiah 17 and verse 9. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You see that one? So again, the heart is deceitful above all things, right? And desperately wicked. Verse 10 in Jeremiah 17. I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doing. So the Most High is going to be giving you the rewards according to what you do and what you've done, right? That's what the good Lord is going to do. And the Most High also tries the reins, man. He tries you. He tests you. He sees what you're going to do in a certain situation. He might put you in a certain situation that might deem to be uncomfortable, right? To see if you're going to try to rebuke him, or you see if you're going to try to question him, man. That's what an ignorant fool is going to do, right? So whenever you come with these questions, man, get prepared to be rebuked. This is the book of Job 38 and verse 2 in the NLT. Who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorant words? Brace yourself like a man, because I have some questions for you, and you must answer them. You see that one? So whenever you ask these silly, ignorant questions, be prepared to answer the questions that the Most High has for you, man. Let's go into some of those. Let me get that real quick. We're gonna go into some of those questions that the Most High had to ask Job. Where we at here? 38 and 2. Look at that. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 38 and verse 3. Brace yourself like a man, because I have some questions for you, and you must answer them. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you know so much, right? That's the question that the Most High laid upon Job's plate, right? Where were you? So again, all of this to say, you have no room to question the good Lord, man, right? Now, is it off to ask questions? Of course, you should be inquisitive and want to seek and learn and understand and comprehend the ways of the Most High God, even though you can't, right? But you should want to seek the good way or the right path of the Lord. Let's go to Jeremiah 6 real quick. And I know I'm going off topic right now, but bear with me. This is Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16. Thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. So, again, it's a good thing, and it's a righteous thing to try to seek the good way, right, or the old paths. That's a good and a decent thing they should do. But a majority of our people aren't going to do that. A majority of our people are just going to scoff and run their mouth and be ignorant as all hell. This is Isaiah. Yes, I don't know if it has the strength to be out here. Yep. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. So the Most High's ways are not like yours, right? And the way he thinks isn't like you think, right? For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So the Most High thinks on a completely different level, like that song from Meek Mill so long ago, right? There's levels to this, man. Isaiah 55 and verse 10. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. You see that one? So the way the direction the Most High is going to send his word, or whatever the Most High thinks upon, is going to come to succeed, man. It's going to occur. The prophecies that the Most High laid are not going to come back void, right? And the ways of the Most High, again, are levels above ours, man. So there's no, what is it? Matter of fact, well, that's not even it. But there's no way that you're going to be able to come against the Lord, man, because you're bound to fail. Let's go to Acts chapter, what was that, 5 and 39, I believe it is. All right, this is the book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 39. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against God. You see that one? So if it's of the Most High, or if it's of God, right, then you're not going to be able to overthrow it. You can't come against it, man, unless you want to try to fight against the Most High. And the Most High is the same one that's destroyed men without hands, destroyed and killed people with grievous diseases, right? He spread. Have you heard of Ebola? The Most High brought forth Ebola, man. The Most High puts the destroyed everybody with the COVID-19, didn't he? The Most High does all kinds of amazing things. And that's the God that you want to try to come up against. You have another thing coming, man. You better get prepared for the question that the Most High has to ask you, man. Get prepared for it. Again, you have to be a man in this thing, man. Genesis 32. I'm just hoping to just go straight off the phone, man.
Yes, sir. Jesus Christ is King.
That's great. Well, Yahushua is the King of the Israelites. Yahushua is the King of the Israelites, is he not?
Absolutely.
All right, for sure, man. And who is he coming back to save?
The Israelites.
The Israelites, exactly.
And help me out.
The Israelites, that's who.
No, the other folks.
Judah and Israel. That's who he's coming back to save. You want to see it?
What do you call them? The people back when you had I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. Yeah. You had Abraham,
Isaac and Jacob.
Absolutely, and why is that word bombing on me? It's basically not the original. It's not.
You trying to say the Gentiles?
The Gentiles. I'm saying he's coming back to save the Jews and the Gentiles.
The Jews and the Gentiles?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'll just go to one verse.
Is he not?
Well, he's coming back to save. You're saying Gentiles as in non-Israelites, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's incorrect. Okay?
So what happens to us then?
The Gentiles or the non-Israelites, there are two.
We go to hell?
Well, I don't believe in like a place where you go to like burn for eternity. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a man-made doctrine.
So what happens to us then?
So the people here in America, which I don't think anybody would argue.
Anybody that's not Jewish.
Anybody that's not an Israelite.
Israelite, yeah.
Then that person is slated for slavery or subjection in the kingdom of heaven, or they're just going to be destroyed in wherever land they're on.
I was born here with no choice. It's wonderful.
Okay, all right, man.
I didn't ask you.
All right, man.
I'm so glad to, when I get old and die, and help people and give to people and do so many good things out of the goodness of my heart, and I'm going to be good.
All right, man. This is the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 67. And his father Zacharias was filled with the Holy Ghost and prophesied, saying, so again, you have Esau over here. Esau likes to run his mouth and he thinks he knows everything. Whenever you tell him the truth, then he gets angry and starts trying to say, well, I'm such a good person. Well, right now you're in the middle of your kingdom. You're better off trying to enjoy your kingdom as opposed to come up against the truth. Right? Blessed be the Lord, God of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people. You see that? So the Most High has come back to save and redeem his people. Now, who are his people? It just said it in the same verse. Again, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So these Edomites, man, have nothing to say, man, and they have nothing to come up against. This dummy, he would have been better off pulling out his Bible or pulling out a verse from his phone and try to say, well, that's incorrect, right? That's incorrect, and I'll show you how, and I'll show you why. He would have been incorrect anyway, but he would have come out more honest if he would have tried to, come up against that understanding with the Bible. But they hate the Bible and they hate the word of the Most High God. That's why he got into a freaking crazy, ridiculous fit, and he tried to guilt trip me and whatnot, man. Trying to say, well, I'm sorry that I was here. I was born with no choice. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. Let's go to the book of Romans chapter 9 real fast. Romans 9. Freaking Esau, man. Esau. Anyway. Right? Romans chapter 9. Where are we at here? I mean, yeah, let's just go here. This is the book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. You see that one again. So the Most High already prophesied that the elder is going to serve the younger. Yes, Esau is going to serve Jacob. It's not that hard to comprehend. And of course, unless you just hate the Bible, right? Unless you hate the Bible, and that's okay. Now let's skip over here to verse, let's go to verse 20. Matter of fact, verse 19. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 18. I'll start here. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he harden it. Okay? Let me read that again. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he harden it. Okay? There should be a comma there. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? So that's what Esau said over there, man. That's what the so-called white man said a second ago. Why does he find fault? Right? Why was I born without any choice? Right? Well, yes, you weren't born with a choice, okay? The Most High already planned your life out for you, okay? Nonetheless, thou wouldst say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? And nobody can resist his will, man. Not that Edomite down that I was walking down there, that so-called white man down there. He can't resist the Most High's will. And neither can anybody else. Right? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? And that's what Esau said a second ago, man. Why did he make me like this, man? Why did he make me to the point where I don't have a choice? And Esau, that's his biggest downfall, man. He's so freaking proud and boastful, man. He actually believes that he has a choice in this. He thinks that he's going to be able to stop something, man. But understand this, Esau, you're not stopping anything. We're going to go out the phone here. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 22. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives. You see that one? So Jacob took his 2 wives. Who else did he take? And his 2 women servants and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. You see that one? So again, you have to be a man in this thing, man. And what do men do, man? They have a family and they steward or they lord over their family, right? That's one thing that the so-called Christian church has taken away from you, okay? And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone. And they wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. You see that one? So Jacob was wrestling with the man. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. And he wrestled with him. So Jacob's thigh was completely out of joint, man. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with man, and hast prevailed. You see that one? So our father Jacob had power with men and with the most, well, not the Most High, had power with men and with angels. Why? Because he wrestled the angel and he prevailed, right? This is Hosea chapter 12 and verse 3 and the NLT. Even in the womb, Jacob struggled with his brother. When he became a man, he fought with God. Yes, he wrestled with the angel and won. He wept and pleaded for a blessing from him. There at Bethel, he met God face to face, and God spoke to him. So again, Jacob wrestled with this angel and he prevailed, right? Let's go to Micah 3:8. Let's go to here. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the book of Micah, chapter 3 and verse 8. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of Yahweh, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. You know what? So again, the Most High has commanded men to come out all over the earth to tell Jacob, who would primarily be classified as the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans today, to get out of your sin, come back to the Most High God, and to keep the commandments of the Lord. The same commandments that the so-called Christian church told you you don't need to keep. The same commandments that the so-called Christian church told you you don't need to obey the Most High God, man. The same ones that that they say that the Most High doesn't care about what you eat. The Most High doesn't care about the holidays that you celebrate. The Most High doesn't care about if you what do? You have sex with multiple women and you don't take them to be your wife. And that's what the so-called Christian church promotes, right? That's what they do, man. But that's why he sent men out here to rebuke that sin, man. All right. Hear this, I pray you. This is Micah 3 and verse 9. Ye heads of the house of Jacob and princes of the house of Israel that abhor judgment and pervert all equity, they built up Zion with blood and Yasharolam with iniquity. You see that one? So they build up Jacob with this wickedness, man. The so-called Christian church does their best to build you up with perverseness, man, and does their best to tell you that you don't need to keep any commandments of the Most High God. So essentially making it to where you do the best to disobey the Most High, right? On a foundation of disobedience. That should be a lesson. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon Yahweh and say, is not Yahweh among us? None evil can come upon us. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountains of the house of the high places of the forest. So that's why the Most High is completely trodden down the children of Jacob, right? Trodden down the children of Jacob, or the children of Israel. Why is that? Because our people are wicked as all hell, and we've been led into wickedness by not only our own people, but the so-called white man Israel, as well as these other nations, right? This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, and verse 34. All right, might have to write this up here in a moment. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went after him. And I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear. And this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he had defied the armies of the living God. David said, moreover, Yahweh that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go, and Yahweh be with thee. So the King David, our king, is a man, right? And in this truth, you have to be a man, not a soft, weak man, right? But a strong man, right? That's going to tell it how it is. That's going to tell the truth without a filter. That's not going to cut corners and not going to play games. That's what a man is going to do. But in the so-called Christian church, they promote soft men. They promote men to be like women. They promote men to be soft and weak and docile and not tell the truth. Be what is it called? Ambiguous right? And to try to summarize things and cut corners and not bring out the context and the details, man. The true understanding. Like that one dude, man, he didn't even know the damn word for it, man. Salakia, man. Nonetheless, there's the book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Go, get these down for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed unto, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Now, Salakia, pardon me, I skipped from verse 1 down to verse 7 and verse 8. All right, verse 15. And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both their sides. On the one side and on the other were they written. And the tables were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God. And the tables were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God graven upon the tables. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf, and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands, and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made, and burnt it with fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel to drink of it. You see that one? So he forced the children of Jacob to drink of that calf that they wanted to serve and worship, man. This is Numbers chapter 25 and 1. So again, Moses, a great man, had to make a strong decision, man. King David had to make a strong decision. I'm going to fight against Goliath, man. I'm going to fight against this Philistine, right? Moses said, I'm going to break these tablets down, right? I'm going to take this molten calf. I'm going to do something with this, man. I'm going to turn it into a liquid, and I'm going to make all you people drink it, man. That's what Moses said, man, and that's what Moses did. This is Numbers chapter 25 and verse 1. When the Israelites, this is in the GNT. When the Israelites were camped at Achaia Valley, the men began to have sexual intercourse with the Moabite women who were there. These women invited them to sacrificial feasts, where the god of Moab was worshipped. The Israelites ate the food and worshipped the god, Baal of Peor. So Yahweh was angry with them, and said to Moses, Take all the leaders of Israel, and in obedience to me, execute them in broad daylight, and then I will no longer be angry with the people. Moses said to the officials, Each of you is to kill every man in your tribe who has become a worshiper of Baal Peor. So again, Moses was told by the Most High that you're going to have to destroy all these people, man, for worshiping this false god, this god of the Moabites. One of the Israelites took a Midianite woman into his tent in the sight of Moses and the whole community while they were mourning at the entrance of the tent of Yahweh's presence. When Phinehas, the son of Eleazar and grandson of Aaron the priest, saw this, so this is the son of Aaron, right? He got up and left the assembly. He took a spear, followed the man and the woman into the tent, and drove the spear through both of them. In this way, the epidemic that was destroying Israel was stopped. Read that again. Verse 7, when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar and grandson of Aaron the priest, saw this, he got up and left the assembly. he took a spear, followed the man and the woman into the tent, and drove the spear through both of them. In this way, the epidemic that was destroying Israel was stopped. But it had already killed 24,000 people. Yahweh said to Moses, because of what Phinehas has done, so the zeal that Phinehas had to destroy this clown that wanted to take this Midianite woman into the tent in the midst of this plague that was besieging Israel, because of that magnificent zeal, what did the Most High say? Because of what Phinehas has done, I am no longer angry with the people of Israel. So, because Phinehas took this spear through this dude and this woman, the Most High's anger was stayed and calm, right? He refused to tolerate the worship of any god but me, and that is why I did not destroy them in my anger. So tell him that I am making a covenant with him that is valid for all time to come. He and his descendants are permanently established as priests because he did not tolerate any rivals to me and brought about forgiveness for the people's sin. You see that one? So Phinehas did a magnificent and mighty thing in that his zeal conjured up a spirit to take a spear and thrust through this dude and his Midianite woman, right? This is Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. You see that one? Our king is a warrior, man, and there's no getting around that, man. Now, Salakia, I really wish I could be out here a bit longer, man, but these fingers are through, all right? So, that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, before the God. I want to give double honors to my apostles and my elders that brought me into this truth that came before me, to the hopeful elect out there that's putting in this work. Continue and to stay strong. Lord willing, this is edifying. This video has been titled, Be a Man. Until next time, I say shalom.